the November.
Excellent. Well, this is my co-host, my partner
Wow,
in crime.
beautiful
This is
dog.
Gabby.
Oh, wow.
She helps with everything. So anyway, hi everybody. I am the person in Healy World International who is not just in love with the coaching module. I am having a love affair with the coaching module.
Okay.
I have been a health and wellness coach, a life coach, and a spiritual coach for over 20 years. And I have never seen anything as effective as this tool. It is spot on accurate. It is otherworldly in its ability to go in and not just find the subconscious programs and limiting beliefs that frankly got passed on to us generationally from our ancestors, but it can go in and shake them loose. I can find in 6 minutes what it used to take me 6 months to find without this module. I could be working with someone one-on-one for 6 months and not get to that information as quickly as I can, literally from 6 months to 6 minutes, because it's there. It's in black and white. When it's done correctly, when it's done accurately, when the intention is set and you move the person from their head into their heart so that the Healy can find the gap between where they are and where they want to be, it's spot on accurate. And that you know how fast that data loads. I mean, it goes in, it scans everything, and boom, you got this printout. So easy, right? Easy from that perspective, but complex. Oh my God. First of all, most people don't know how to get from here to here. That's number one. Number two, most people don't have any clue how to write an intention that will get them from here to here. And then you got to go in and figure out which subcategories to pick. And then you got to go in and interpret and read this huge, amazing PDF that is provided for us and figure out what to do with it. So what I did last fall was I created a little 6-week test program, and we whizzed through a lot of stuff really quickly. And then what I realized was that personal growth happens in stages. And I, as a coach, will not work with anyone who doesn't make a 6-month commitment. So I decided then to create a 6-month group coaching program that would incorporate all of my wisdom that I've garnered in the last 20 years, all of the tools that I work with and use with my personal clients, as well as this sophisticated Healy coaching module, and then teach people how to interpret it, how to utilize it, and how to really see the accuracy and the value of it, and how to blend that all together. I'm also a visionary artist, and I literally incorporate my artwork I bring it in and put it into the coaching module, into the various segments of it, and create programs that are uber powerful. So it's honestly, I love doing this program more than coaching people one-on-one, because I love reaching a vast array of people and teaching and sharing from my heart. And it is literally, in the 20 years I've been doing this work, the most incredible program I've created, and the one that I personally love teaching the most. So I'm actually have a program starting on October 5th. We will be meeting every other Wednesday for 6 months. It's at 7 Central Time, so 8 Eastern, 7, 6, 5 Pacific. It runs 2 hours, and we incorporate all my tools, my art, and all of that into this 6-month program. And people say, well, it's group coaching, it's not one-on-one coaching. Yes, it is group coaching, but the group that forms generally has similar things that they need to be working on. And just to be sure, I actually go in and do a survey of everyone that's at the beginning of the class. They have to fill out a questionnaire, and we have them rank the top 10 or 12 areas in their life. to see what it is they really want to work on. Where do they need the most help? And then I create a program that's going to be customized for those specific people in that group. So it's, yeah, we've had just everybody that's taken it has fallen in love with it. Some of them so much so that when the 6 months was over, they were like, well, aren't you going to create biohacking 2.0? Because they wanted to continue. So we've got some of them that are continuing on in a more advanced program. And like I said, I just absolutely love teaching it. And Betty and I did a session, gosh, was that a month ago, Betty?
Yes.
Yeah. And what did you think? Was it effective?
It's
Did it help?
amazing. It's amazing. And I cannot, stop talking to my team members, because initially we are doing like bunch of sentences, I want to have a better life. I want to have what, it's just too general. Okay. So when you teach me how to write this, wow, I thinking, well, without you, I cannot reach that goal. Okay. And now, because I think that you teach me the way, it's not like okay, this sentence, that's it. You teach me the way how to put the statement together. How you're not a statement, you're not saying statement, you are using the intention. So, so I get rid of the statement, I can get rid of the folks sentences. Now I know intention. Actually, I'm thinking about the intention is a subconsciousness, right? So we need to develop our subconsciousness and then become the formal written intention, right? So I also today I will also send you the revised version for my, I don't know whether you saw that or not. You can comment on that, whether I learned, whether I'm a diligent or earnest candidate, a student or not, So,
absolutely. I did see it come across in my inbox. I will tell you that today has been one of the most intense days in the last.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry.
Because as people, well, the Queen died and everything went to hell in a handbasket after that. People were coming out of the woodwork with, I need an emergency session for my pet. I have
that's okay. That's okay. So Lori, I think we can do the sessions in the future, because you can just using my as example. So now I'm a student and you're the teacher, right? And at the beginning, what are my initial, and if it's funny, I have a friend, okay, and team members, and they just try to help me, and they come up with some sentences. I want to share the sentences with you. And then after that, I feel, wow, if without your session, I cannot be at that level. Okay. So, and I just want to say thank you so much. And I share the one that you helped me to write. This is what they initially come up with. Okay. And I also share the revised version based upon my understanding from your teaching. And I think you are the effective teacher, because I'm a very bad student. So really, because this will be a very interesting session. I can tell my story, how I met Liu and how I come up with a statement to begin with, and how you help me to write the good one, and also how I come up with the revised session. So I can show the people with and without your teaching, what the big difference made. Okay, so the difference made in my in today's of me, right? But also it will have a positive impact on my 2 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever, right? I also would because initially I don't even know your session, okay, and I don't even think about that session, and because of my gain from such a short less than a 1 hour conversation, and you spend like a 30 minutes, over 30 minutes to understand about who I am, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then come up with, I here as I have a question. You are not stuck with, hey, Betty, I will help you to come up with a statement. You didn't do that. You're so patient and listen to me.
Well, that's.
And I
that's
just
what a
want
good
to,
coach should.
I want to ask you, as a healer or as a coach, we need to spend enough attention to listen to the other party, correct?
Absolutely. That's 90% of my job is to listen. And in the listening, be able to find and read between the lines of what they're not saying or what they're not aware of. And the Healy just literally helps me to be more accurate and get that done quicker. And because you've got to listen. If you're not listening, you're not going to grasp it. You're not going to find those little nuggets that are going to help you to help the person make the quantum leap they want to make in their life.
Yes. So because the reason I'm asking you is that today, a dear team members, group of dear team members want to help me with my, you know, they try to help me, but they don't want to listen to my story. You said, this is not relevant. We're only talking about coach, okay? You're only talking about coach. We're only run the statement, do the statement, and run the frequencies. That's it. Okay, anything else is beyond that subject. So don't talk to me, okay? But for me, it's feel like if you want to help me, you need to listen to me, right? So how we end up with this. So I'm so happy that today you had the chance to join me and talking about that. So I know, you know, you're so precious. So I'm just let you know, no matter what, I'm going to attend your session, your training. It's 12 weeks or 3 weeks or what?
It's 6 months.
6 months. Okay, 6 months.
12 bi-weekly sessions.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that I have also 3 people that I can recommend to you. And one is the doctor, her, you know, the one that you're from Taiwan, spiritual leader or spiritual counselor. Okay, so I will leave some minutes for you two guys to talk about it. And also another person next to my hand is called a Pingling in Chinese. You cannot read Chinese, so that's okay. So
Right.
that person is that I think that she will get a lot of benefit from that. And she is a very dear friend of mine, and she also a very good learner. So I think that she will join you too. If it has financial things that I can, you know, we can work together on the things. She is also Healy business partner, but not my team. Okay, and she is in California.
Okay.
And her English is excellent. You know, you only want to teach because for a lot of Chinese people, I have to be the translator. But if someone can understand both English and Chinese, and she can be your translator too, you know. And I think that would be fabulous, right? And also she had a Healy experience for over probably 2 years.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, so very solid. If at a chance you know students have some issues about installment install or whatever, you know, she will be willing to help us. So I want to tell all the people who is in the session today or not on the session today, but listen to this. I also recorded this in the YouTube. So anybody, I want to say, based upon what I gained from the experience, okay, for the past week, right? Less than 1 hour. And I gain the things I cannot get if I don't do it. You never know. A year, 2 years, 10 years, maybe even longer, right? So I say so fortunate that I pay attention to your teaching. And I was so impressed with the session you conducted with another person. And I said, well, Lori, use me as your case. So tell other people. And also, in the future, you can do an English session for people who understand Chinese or English, and also we can do translate session. Okay.
It's perfect because
Yeah.
I have the background and the knowledge, but I don't teach or I don't speak Chinese. So you're being able to translate it is going to bring it to a much broader audience.
Yeah, especially the training session is one, but I also think about another thing is the depression and anxiety session. And I want to use, invite, that's so many people, right? So I want to conduct a session, collaborate with you together and do a translated one because, Chinese people, it's not like westernized, they cannot express themselves well. So in this case, in this coronavirus, and even make worse, there's so many suicidals in China. Okay, I just let you know. And they're in China, we don't have spiritual leader, spiritual counseling, none. We don't have, even we have the psychologist, but people ashamed to go to the psychologist because I have mental problems. So there are more things in China than in westernized because there's so many resources here. So I want to be, because as you know, in my revised version, I'm the founder for the Global Chinese.
Right.
I feel obligated to help a lot of people with depression, anxiety, especially in the area, and also cancer. Okay. And
well, the question is the reason that we're here today, because I mean, I don't know. Do you know my story of how I got involved with Healy?
Nope.
Well, 25 years ago, this is very informative for anybody because every mental health practitioner on the planet needs to have these devices available for their people. 25 years ago, let's step back. A long time ago, when I was in my late 20s, I was hit in the neck right here by a truck.
Oh.
And the neck injury was severe and chronic. In other words, here I am today, all these years later, and my cranial base is torqued on like a 30-degree angle. And it causes a lot of tension in the muscles, and it causes a lot of pain, and that muscles compress so much that they compress the C1 through C3 vertebrae in my neck, which meant that the neurotransmitters that get made in your gut that need to get up your spinal column and into your brain to help you keep emotionally balanced weren't getting where they needed to go. And so I had major depressive disorder, chronic fatigue, and anxiety disorder. I was spent a year on the couch. I was a wreck. And of course, traditional medicine, they were just throwing drugs left and right at me. Well, fortunately, a few years into that, I ran into a naturopath who had one of the first biofeedback devices in the United States. And she ran a scan on me and she said, "Were you ever in an accident?" And I said, "Yes." And she was the one that told me that the C1 through C3 were compressed from that accident. So a biofeedback scan literally saved my life 25 years ago. And I knew every time I went for a biofeedback session, I would feel better for a period of time. I'd also do cranial sacral, I'd do massage, chiropractic, all those things to help with the neck. So flash forward to August 28th of 2020, right smack in the beginning of the pandemic, a friend called me and told me about the Healy. And I said, "That sounds to me like a high-end biofeedback device that I've used over the years." And she said, "Well, it sounds like it does the same thing." So I signed up for Healy in under 5 minutes because all I knew was if I could run a session on myself every day, that maybe I stood a chance at getting my life back. Because for 2.5 decades, I literally was like this, up and down, constantly. I never would know in the morning when I woke up, if I was going to be able to be happy enough to make it through the day. I never knew if I'd be able to work. I mean, and sometimes those episodes would go on for 3 months at a pop. Once I crashed, I'd stay down there. And so having a device like this in my home that I could run on myself every day and run on my pet and on my clients was just like, sign me up. And I will tell you, just like biofeedback saved my life, Healy gave me my life back. And there isn't a person out there in the world with any kind of mental health issue that wouldn't benefit from having one of these. You know, in the US, it's FDA cleared for pain, but in Europe, it's also cleared for anxiety and depression. And I don't know what it is, you know, in Asia and other parts of the world, but the bottom line is it works. The very first time that I could tell that I was having a depressive episode coming on, and I grabbed my Healy and I cranked up those mental balance programs. An hour and a half later, I felt fine, normal, okay, almost happy. That is a big deal.
Wow.
And that's why we're here today.
Yeah. Okay. So I will just leave some time for Mr. Her. 何老师你还在吗？还是睡觉去了呀？OK。
在啊，我在啊。
你在，那么我就 leave 这件时间。So because I'm sorry, I just talk. So you guys are one is Western spiritual counseling healer, and one is Eastern spiritual counselor. Okay, I admire you both dearly. All right. So I think a Western and the combined Eastern, that's the Healy's key, right? Healy is the combination from Western, combined Western philosophy and East, right? So we will talk about that a lot in the future. So I will stop talking and let you guys to talk. So 何老师，你把那个话筒打开，你有什么问题？You can ask any questions to Lori, and Lori can ask questions to you. So you both just know each other. We just as audience, okay? And
Okay,
we have to finish in probably 20 minutes. Okay, so I leave it up to you.
Yeah, Laura, I'm very happy to know you. This is my pleasure to see you here.
何老师，你能够把那个话筒打开吗？就视频打开吗
Okay,
谢谢。Sorry.
Yeah, nice seeing you again. Okay. I learned Healy a little bit since probably a couple of months ago by the introduction by me, by Betty, and I use that for measuring the people's body and use some spiritual way to remove those karma in their body, and that's a very good exercise. But I know about the coach activities in Healy, but I do not have enough experience or I do not do too much about that. So I'm interested to know how to use Healy for the coach. That's what I don't understand. Can you have a short introduction about that?
Short introduction, so she can be thinking about joining your session, your training session.
Yeah.
So, give me like a 5 minutes introduction for your training.
Sure. So with the key with the coaching module is that the very first thing you have to do is you have to create an intention. Have you used the coaching module?
Not yet.
Okay. So it's going to ask you to create an intention. All right. And say, my first intention that I created for myself was to become an executive director.
Okay.
And what I did was I wrote it in a really in-depth, passionate way, so that not only would it say that I wanted to be executive director, but that it would describe how I would feel. So I have it here. Why don't I read it to you so you can get a feel for the importance of the intention setting? That's the most important part of that coaching module. So I said, I am beyond grateful to be an executive director with Healy World. My Healy World business is blossoming and growing and expanding and thriving easily and effortlessly with grace and ease and magic. My team is filled with love and support for one another. We encourage one another. We learn and grow together. We celebrate each other's successes, and there are many. We have a deep inner knowing that we are creating the expansion of consciousness on this planet, one vibration at a time, creating a world where people are unified through the vibration of love, not fear. Like-minded, vibrationally matched, heart-centered people are magnetically attracted to my team, wanting to be a part of this amazing mission. I'm immensely fulfilled and grateful. My passion to help others learn and grow and evolve is fully utilized now. I love leading and teaching. I effortlessly share these gifts with the many, not just the few, and watch the magic unfold. I am filled with joy. My heart is overflowing with love, and the financial rewards are immense. And by the way, this is so much fun.
Mhm.
So see when I write these intentions, I want to make sure that I've got myself or my client to go from my head into my heart, because the Healy is not reading what I typed in to that coaching module. What it's reading is the difference between where I am and where I want to be. And where I want to be, it has a vibration to it. It has an emotion attached to it. So if I could create that vibrational state of already being there, then the Healy can find whatever is in between. This is where I am. This is where I want to be. What's in here? That's what the Healy will go and find. But the key isn't just to say, I'm going to be an executive director. The key is to feel it deeply and passionately in your heart. And when you're in that state, then it will find exactly what's in the way. And the module is pretty complex. I mean, you need to then go in and look at the subcategories and pick which subcategories you think are going to play into this. Is it going to be self-worth? Is it going to be emotional balance? Is it going to be a financial issue? What is it going to be? And it will find not only what the subconscious blocks and limiting beliefs are, but it will tell you if they came from a karmic situation, if they came from your parents, your grandparents, your ancestors. And it'll tell you if it's a major life theme that you came into this incarnation to learn. And so it gives you all this data and all of this information. And then it will go in and you can set it to run anywhere from 8 seconds to 8 hours or more to actually shake loose the imbalances in the subconscious that are preventing you from getting to that next level in your life. So when I did this for myself, I ran it 26 minutes a day, every day. And within 6 weeks, I rank advanced from where I was to senior director. Now that's not executive director, but that's 4 levels. I rank advanced 4 levels in 6 weeks because it was shifting and clearing that much out of the way of the things that was preventing me and blocking me from that level of success.
Lori, can I ask a question?
Sure.
While you're doing the 26 minutes, every day you run 26 minutes for the intention you do. Did you run any other Healy programs as well, or just 26 minutes for coach module only?
Oh, I continue to run any other programs that I might run throughout the day, you know, whatever the resonance analysis came up. So it wasn't the only thing I was running, but it was the only thing I was running consistently.
Consistently for the whole 2 weeks?
6 weeks.
Or 6 weeks. Okay.
6 weeks. And I rank advanced 4 levels.
But basically the other programs, so it cannot just run 26 minutes only for coach, right? So you have to run the other programs, but other programs, do you have a certain criteria? For example, red dot, you run 3 programs without blah, blah, blah. What other criterion for running other program.
Oh, I would just run the resonance analysis and see what I needed, and whatever came up that was top priority where the imbalances were, that's what I'd run. I mean, what you have to understand is that the Healy is an epigenetic emotional healing device. It is working on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels simultaneously. So it's every program you run is going to help you become better on all levels, right? We're multidimensional beings.
Yeah.
So it's helping us on all those levels. But when you've got a strong intention like that, and you would be, well, you saw it, Betty, the accuracy of what's in the way, it's like, oh my God, right?
I know.
And then you can take those intentions, and you can also, use the affirmations, but affirmations alone are never going to get you there.
Right.
Shaking loose.
So can I make some
patterns?
Yeah, can I, in order to, because I have another meeting at 11 o'clock, no, at 10 o'clock, but I can do like another 30 minutes if possible. So I would suggest that in order to, for Mr. Her understand what your talents and your, values, things like that, I would suggest that you both make appointment. So, 何老师，你要跟那个叫 Lori make appointment， 让你们两个 ，so two of you can work on this intention, So, 何老师你自己想一下。Actually, you know what? Lori, I would suggest that within the next 30 minutes, I'm just brainstorming with you guys. Okay, so you can correct me or you can say no or whatever. Okay, so I will say, we ask Mr. Her to think about what, okay, I should say that. Lori, because you're experienced healer and coach, I'm giving you, we still have 30 minutes, okay, maybe 20 minutes. In the next 20 minutes, can you conduct a session just with her and to understand him a little bit, and then help him to come up with the intention statement, and then you can run it and whatever if you like. Okay, I just brainstorming here. Okay.
Betty, I have a meeting for start from 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
So
I don't think we have enough time.
Okay. Yeah. So how about that? Do you guys want to meet tomorrow at the same time? Here?
I can't. I have other commitments tomorrow.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, maybe we find other times to do
maybe you can let me know what will be time. I will coordinate. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and there's also that I did a 2-hour training with Ken Close where we recorded a live session that we did with someone.
Okay. So do you, Lori, do you have a WeChat?
Do I have what?
WeChat, you probably don't, because you say, what? You definitely will not. So I just suggest.
WeChat something like WhatsApp in China.
Yeah.
WeChat in China.
I have WhatsApp, I have Telegram.
So we will figure out the way, if I can tell you, I can share with you or someone will help you to install the WeChat. You will be able to do it. So in the future, we will have a lot of chance to, deal with Chinese people. Especially if I suggest that other than the training session, I want to continuously working with you as collaborate for helping people with depression. All right. And then now we can also include Mr. Her. So Western and Eastern and two healers work together. I'm just a translator or coordinator, to deal with it. That would be a lot of fun, huh?
Yeah. And I just posted that coach training recording in the chat, so you guys can all.
And also because we need to have some, examples to show people what we can do. So I would using me as a whatever, not using me as a case. Okay. So probably, or using somebody as a case, or maybe we can do Pingling. Now this person online right now, she's still here. So we can use her as an example. We can do a case studies, or we can do something else. We can do, one is depression, one is cancer. And then we will have some kind of like example. So we can, with their permission or with somebody else, and we can, you know, share with other people, and that will be attract a lot of people because when you talk, people have no idea. So that's why I feel it's so valuable just to schedule a one-on-one session with you, and at least as a good beginning, right? Okay. Ping is also the one that not my team member, but she is a Healy family. And Ping, do you want to say something? And you can ask question. I told her, you know, it's very difficult to reach you two guys, especially on on one Zoom. So Ping,
Betty, I have to leave. I have another meeting. So nice meeting you, Rory. See you next time.
Yes, thank you. Nice meeting you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So that's one, huh? So he just want to know. And Ping, do you want to open your screen and just say something to Lori and you know, so get to know each other, and if you have some questions to ask her. Ping
关掉录音吧。
啊，没，我关哦，对对对